All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Beef Up Front podcast. This is your host, Ryan Coyle, here today with my first podcast as a member of Pick Swap Media. Very excited, very thankful to be able to be a part of this growing team. And I'm really excited to see where we go from here. If you're watching this, you can see it on YouTube now, not just the audio files. So we're going to be growing this page. We got some cool content coming out, some cool graphics. Today I'm here with an NBA mock draft, just the lottery. I'm going to be cranking out a few of these over the next few weeks as we head up to the draft. Um, Not just the lottery, I'll go into a whole first round and second round mock draft as well. Won't be as in depth as this one. I got pretty good details for these 14 picks here. But this is a draft that I'm excited about. I'm really high on some of the guys at the top of the draft. Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren, Jaden Ivey, Paulo Banchero, some really good players I think could be some all-stars. And then I think it kind of falls off. I think we're going to have some solid role players. But once you get to around like 7 or number 8 overall, I think that's where we're going to start seeing some role players. I don't know how many more reliable long-term starters there is coming out of this year's draft. But without further ado, we'll hop right into it. First overall pick in this draft is going to the Orlando Magic. I have them selecting my number 1 overall prospect, and I think it's a good fit there as well. With the health issues that we've seen out of Jonathan Isaac over the past few years, that's going to be for Jabari Smith out of Auburn. Love him. Like I said, my number 1 prospect. Watched so much of Auburn this year. I thought they were a really fun and exciting team to check out. And I think he still has a lot of room to grow. A 6'10 forward, elite shooter as his size. Has more potential on offense, I think, and can be a very good defender as well. Like to see him improve maybe his speed and his quickness a little bit more to be more dangerous off the bounce, because I think I'm not going to say he's one-dimensional on offense, just shooting jump shots right now, because he's effective out of the mid-post and can take you down low a bit too. But I think to reach that ceiling that he has, he needs to be more explosive and better off the bounce. Number 2 overall pick right now is the Oklahoma City Thunder. I have them selecting Chet Holmgren, forward, center, whatever you want to call him, just a positional hybrid type of guy out of Gonzaga. Special blend of size, length, athleticism, skill, rim protection. He's a guy who just really does it all on the basketball floor. But the thing with him, if you watch Gonzaga this year and if you've seen Chet before, I'm just extremely worried about his weight and his long-term durability. We've seen guys come into the league and show they're able to put on weight, consistently lifting, but he just has a really frail body. And at least off the bat, I'm worried that guys like Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, even like Andre Drummond, just centers who have been around, who have much bigger bodies than him, are going to be able to bully him down low. So that's something I'm worried about. We didn't get to see him play that much high-level competition as he played at Gonzaga this year. So I'm very worried about his bust potential. And I think he could get punished early in his career. But this is a guy who has a super high ceiling. Long-term might be the highest upside prospect in this draft. And he could be the future of the Thunder. So really swinging for the fences with this pick, but that's where we're going to go with the Thunder there. Number 3 overall, as of right now, is the Rockets. I have them selecting guard Jaden Ivey out of Purdue. Super athletic guard. You can pair him, I think, with Jalen Green going forward. Not that confident in him as an overall point guard. I think he turns it over a little bit too much, and he might be better as just like a combo scoring guard. But you pair him with Jalen Green, that might be the most athletic backcourt in the NBA from day one. These two very explosive guys. Ivey's got pretty good vision as well. Not good on the defensive end right now, but he has all the tools. I think it's just kind of a want thing for him. He's got to want to be better at defense and commit on that end of the floor. But you pair him with Green, that's going to be really exciting, and that's going to be 2 good building blocks to go forward. You throw in Kevin Porter Jr. in there as well, coming off the bench maybe. That'd be a highly scoring, highly electric backcourt trio for the Rockets going forward. Number 4, the Kings. Got them selecting Shaedon Sharpe, guard out of Kentucky. I'm going to be honest, this is a guy I don't know that much about, as he didn't play at all at Kentucky this year. He enrolled midway through the year, was a high school guy, but was able to reclass something with his age. But I do know the Kings need a long-term guard to pair with De'Aaron Fox going forward after trading Tyrese Halliburton. I think the Kings are the worst organization, not just in the NBA, but in sports. They just continue to make bad move after bad move. And I think trading Halliburton, who showed that he was a really good playmaker next to Fox, for Domantas Sabonis, a big man who, solid player, but not really what the NBA needs right now. You need high-level scoring guards, guys who are able to create for others as well. I think Sharp has a potential to do that alongside Fox. Good size, good athleticism, can shoot the ball. You really just buy into his upside here in his high school production. Number 5, a bit of a slide here for him, but I have the Detroit Pistons selecting Paolo Banchero, forward out of Duke. I think we might see him fall a little bit here because I think his lack of an outside shot currently, it could scare some teams away. Only shoots 32% from deep, but he's a gifted scorer around the rim. At college, he showed the ability to finish inside, and he's got a great NBA body right away. 6'10", about 240 pounds, just broad shoulders, big guy. But he doesn't get to play like Boston College, Clemson, those like kind of lower teams that he saw in the ACC, where he's able to just bully his way through defenders and get to the rim. He's going to be playing against NBA guys every single night who are able to match him physically. So I'm a bit worried about his lack of an outside game right now, and how that could affect at least his success right away in the NBA. But he is a guy who I do like his long-term potential. But we see this with guys a lot. He's a jump shot away. He's a jump shot away. They never get that jump shot. They never really materialize into that top 5 pick that you were hoping for. So, but if you're the Pistons, he falls to you here at 5. You already got a really good forward in Jeremy Grant, a solid guy who's like a fringe all-star type of player. Those two might not be able to play side by side together, but I think you're really thinking if you're the Pistons long-term, pairing Banchero with Cade Cunningham, that would be a really good haul for you out of these past 2 drafts. We move on to the 6th overall pick. That's the Pacers. Got them selecting Keegan Murray, forward out of Iowa. He just feels like a prototypical Pacers player that we've seen their front office take over the years. Not a crazy athlete, not a really flashy player, but a guy who just gets the job done, and he can really, really shoot the basketball at a high level. Best shooter from deep in this draft for my money. Good size at the forward spot as well. This team just needs to add more talent. I think they're in a really big rebuild. You got Halliburton, though, with Brogdon. I think you got to add some more shooting on the outside in the front court. I think Keegan Murray can do just that. So great fit here. Just a perfect, I think, pick at number 6 overall for the Pacers. Number 7, got the Blazers selecting Johnny Davis, guard out of Wisconsin. This pick kind of reminds me of the CJ McCollum acquisition back in the day. Just a crafty kind of scoring guard. Doesn't do much else for you right now, but he shows he's able to get buckets. And Davis really improved over the past few years in college. We saw that with McCollum as well. A guy who might be able to continue to improve, but also contribute right away at one thing in the NBA. And you're the Blazers. Damian Lillard's prime's kind of running out, so you're kind of hoping to add a nice little scoring punch next to him in the backcourt. They can get Anthony Simons back as well. He's due for a pretty big contract extension, so we might not see him come back. But you could have 3 pretty solid scoring guards, 1 all-star with Lillard and 2 with Simons and Johnny Davis in there. So that's a pick I really like there. I think that would be a good fit. And like I was kind of saying with the Pacers and Keegan Murray, that's just like a prototypical pick for them, I think. Just a safe scoring guard that the Blazers front office that we've seen them take before. Number 8 overall, we got the Pelicans selecting Malachi Branham, guard, forward, wing, kind of a hybrid player at Ohio State. He's a player who really grew on me as the year went on, and I think his basketball could be ahead of him. Super efficient player from 2 and from 3. Shot over 50% from 2, over 40% from 3. Just continued to get better, and he was really good down the stretch. He was making a lot of key shots, late shot clock type of things. He's a guy who really got better as the year went on. So that makes me believe, as a guy who was only a freshman last year, some of his best basketball could still be ahead of him. At 6'5", he gives you the ability to play different spots on defense as well, I think. I think the Pelicans need to add a few more effective two-way players at the wing and guard spot, and he fits just that. So I really like that fit there for the Pelicans. Number 9, we got the Spurs. Don't usually see them picking that this high, but they're up here the past few years now. I think they're on the uptick, kind of getting better. Interested to see how much longer Popovich is around. But this is a pick for the Spurs that I think would make a lot of sense. That's Jalen Duran, center out of Memphis. Spurs have been primarily drafting guards and wings over the past few years, and they've done a really good job in developing them. You look at DeJounte Murray, all-star type player now. Lonnie Walker, pretty solid player. Keldon Johnson has emerged as a pretty good guy at Kentucky as well. This is another former 5-star guy. I think you could say started out a bit slow at Memphis, but they really picked it up as the year went on, and you saw what he could do. Very, very good development staff with the Spurs, and that makes it more even intriguing for me for Duran to go there because I think he has a much higher ceiling to tap into. I want to see them take a swing on a big man like this, a super athletic freak, NBA body from day one, just chiseled, blocks shots, runs the floor, good around the rim. I think he can be an impactful player in the NBA from day one as he continues to develop his skills and really refine his offensive game. Number 10 got the Wizards selecting Ty Washington, going to Washington, guard out of Kentucky. I think the Wizards really need a lead guard going forward. Not sure the situation with them. Bradley Beal, if he'll be back or not. So Washington is more of a point guard, though. He was playing really well at the beginning of the season, but then he had like a foot or like a heel injury once they got around to SEC play. And I think that really hampered him the rest of the year, as well as hampered the Kentucky Wildcats. As we saw, they got bounced by St. Peter's in the first round in that 2-15 game. I just think when Washington was at his best, they were the best team in the country along with Auburn and Gonzaga for most of the season. But when Washington was hurt, he's banged up, really saw the effects it had in Kentucky. So a player like that who has that much meaning on a team as talented as Kentucky shows how important he is. I think he's not going to be a special player, but a really solid point guard in the NBA for a long time. Can score, can make shots from different spots. I think the Wizards just really need, like I said, someone to be able to come in and run their offense. Number 11, got the Knicks selecting A.J. Griffin, freshman forward out of Duke. Knicks are stuck in that spot where I don't think they'll get a difference maker here at 11, but they also could draft a bust. So I think they go with a guy who you're going to be banking on for reliable contributions from day one, and he's a safer player here in a 3-and-D prospect. With A.J. Griffin, he knocks down shots at a high level, defends well, has good tools on both ends of the floor, and can contribute depth. You look at some of the guys like R.J. Barrett right now, you just need some more guys behind them. I think the Knicks are kind of stuck in a rut. Were ahead of schedule with that 1 year where they were the 4 seed or the 5 seed 2 years ago, whenever that was, when they beat they lost to the Hawks in the playoffs. And I think they might have overpaid some guys like Julius Randle. You look at them now, no real star power on that team. R.J. Barrett has shown some good flashes, but still, I don't think he's going to be like a superstar type player. He's got all-star potential, but I think they're in a rut. So when it comes to that, I think it's just best to play it safe and take a safe prospect here like Griffin and hope he can grow into a little bit more than he is right now. Number 12 overall, we got the Thunder selecting Ochai Agbaji, most outstanding player from the Final Four, the guard out of Kansas. Safe, established player, I think, to add to this young Thunder roster. I have them selected Holmgren at 2, like I was talking about with him. That might be a bit of a swing for the fences type of thing, banging on that long-term potential, but he's also a guy who has bust potential as well. So then you look at Agbaji, you know what you're getting. You know you're getting a guy who can shoot the ball, who can defend, an athletic player out on the wing. Then you get a real safe player, in my opinion, here for a Thunder team that has a lot of young, talented guys with some upside, but also some guys that could flop. So I think you need to add a veteran type of guy here with Agbaji, who's an established college player, and he can be an NBA contributor from day one. 2 more picks here as we round out the lottery. Number 13 overall, we got the Hornets selecting Mark Williams, center out of Duke. He's a guy who has grown on me a little bit throughout this draft process. Haven't watched more of him since the season ended. Just his athleticism really just sticks out. I mean, 7 foot out of Duke, 250 pounds. And I think I saw at the combine, he only had like 4.5% body fat, which a lot of people were questioning if that was even possible. He's the perfect rim runner, shot blocker type of guy to go to this Hornets roster with LaMelo Ball. One of the best passers in the NBA already. You're going to be seeing lobs down the floor, things off the pick and roll from Williams from Ball to Williams. A lot for the Hornets if they pick him. Great size, athleticism, like I said. Ideal fit here, very Clint Capella-like. And to round out the lottery, got the Cavaliers selecting E.J. Liddell, forward out of Ohio State. One of my favorite college players from this past year. I think he's going to be a real solid NBA player from day one, kind of like Herb Jones he reminds me of from the Pelicans last year. I was really high on him. Come out of the draft, and you look, he was one of the better rookies last year. Also really reminds me of former Villanova player Eric Paschall. The Cavs have a really good young core. You got Garland and Mobley leading the way. They add another player here who, kind of like I was talking about with Agbaji, a veteran player from college who did his work in college, got better over the past few years, and now is looking to cash out in the NBA. He's more of like an established player, I think, where he'll help out some of these young guys, because even though he hasn't been in the NBA as long as they have, he still has a lot of experience and a very like mature veteran type of player. Does a little bit of everything on the floor, can shoot, rebound, defend, a winning player that can either start or come off the bench and eat a lot of minutes up for you from day one. But that'll do it for this edition of the Beef Up Front podcast, discussing the lottery picks for our first mock draft. Like I said, going to have definitely at least a whole first round mock draft, probably even a second round out as well, and be doing some prospect previews, some more player previews, and going a little bit more in depth on these guys. But excited to be a part here of Pick Swap Media. Excited to see what's to come for Beef Up Front and the rest of the guys at Pick Swap. But I look forward to catching up soon. Enjoy your day, and just remember, trust the process.